Hey, what's up? Back at you with another video. It's still the day of Human Rights Day. I thought I would go down and just relax with my wife, but I came now to see that Ronaldo Gouws and Colonel Chris Wyatt have come out reporting on the EFF singing the song Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer. Or is it Kiss the Boer, Kiss the Farmer? We are to find out just now. If you don't know who these two guys are, welcome. My name is Neo and I've been tracking the two for quite some time, having noted them on interviews together and standing together with the thread commonly known as Fafo. Fuck around and find out. As we heard, Ethel Trollip not long ago standing in parliament telling the ANC government and the people of South Africa to fuck around and find out. And as Ronaldo has repeated the phrase several times on his YouTube channel, on his show, I have warned that, yo, listen up. If you are going to tell people to fuck around and find out, that might just be the last thing that you ever get to do, because they might turn around and dare you and actually mess around to see. So we've got the EFF here singing Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer. Let's hear Renaldo Gouws' response before we jump over Colonel Chris Wyatt.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Ronaldo here. So this video is going to focus on Human Rights Day in South Africa. It's the 21st of March 2025 and today is Human Rights Day in South Africa. Yes? The EFF. Are they doing a talk right now? Okay, they're having a rally on Human Rights Day. Okay, well, okay, let's cross over quick. Sorry, so we're just going to cross over to the EFF quick on Human Rights Day.
We're crossing over.
Alright, come on, sir. Alright, kita, kilame, kiriwata, sorbo, asisha. Where were you when I'm tripped? Where were you when I'm tripped? So sketchy. So sketchy.
Yo, hey.
Kichi.
Kichima.
Sipram Konto Alaye. Shoot to kill.
Hey.
Yamasa.
Hey.
Kill the poor.
Hey.
The farmer. Kill the poor. The farmer. Brr, pa.
Hey.
Yeah, he just sang Kill the Boer on Human Rights Day. Yeah. Sorry everybody, this is the state of South Africa, where on Human Rights Day, you've got a political party, its leader and its supporters singing songs about killing people based on the color of their skin. Now, what more do you need as evidence that we should not be celebrating Human Rights Day in South Africa? Because clearly it's not human rights for all.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. We're in a shameful, bad, sad state.
We live in a country where we have 80 murders a day. Now, the reason Human Rights Day is celebrated is because of the Sharpeville massacre that took place on the 21st of March in 1960, where 69 people lost their lives. They were brutally murdered and 180 people were seriously injured. So here we are today, where we will have 80 murders a day in South Africa. Tomorrow we will have 80 murders a day in South Africa. Every single day in South Africa, we have 80 murders a day. So every single day, more people die than the amount of people that died at the Sharpeville massacre. That's not taking away from the massacre that took place. It is a stain on our history. It should never ever happen again in this country. But if we have a holiday because 69 people were murdered, then we need to have a holiday every single day in South Africa, because every single day more people die than died during the Sharpeville massacre. Not even to talk about the race-based policies in this country that discriminate against minorities. Let's pull that aside and just focus on how everybody is affected in this country and not just minorities. People are poorer now than what they were during 1994. More people are unemployed now than what they were at 1994. Infrastructure is worse now than it was at 1994. So what human rights are you celebrating when 31 years into our democracy, people are poorer, have less access to water and electricity and basic services? What is there to celebrate in 2025? And when are we going to stop this bullshit narrative of celebrating a day that literally means nothing? As illustrated by the EFF singing Kill the Boer on Human Rights Day. And no mainstream media house will condemn it. No political party, other than perhaps the Freedom Front Plus, will condemn it. So please tell me what human rights we should celebrate when in 2025 political parties can sing songs about killing people based on the color of their skin. Don't talk cuck to me about human rights. Because in 2025, there are 142 race-based laws against minorities in this country. And there are political parties, and it's not just the EFF. The MK, the ANC, and the EFF sing songs about killing people.
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at the message. He caught me off guard there by saying don't talk cock. He's a white guy, and there's ways that he expresses himself. So I would have expected don't talk shit. That would have flown right past me. But this sounded so Afrikaans.
People based on the color of their skin. Don't come and talk about Human Rights Day when things like this happen and nobody says anything about it. We can't celebrate Human Rights Day when this takes place. I'm sorry. And that's all I got to say. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to subscribe.
And so that's Ronaldo Gouws, and now we hop straight over to Colonel Chris Wyatt.
All right. Come on, sir. Who likes guitar? Killer man.
It is Human Rights Day, a day to commemorate what happened in Sharpeville in 1960 before most of us were even born. Remembering the events of 1960 when 69 people died and another 180 were wounded in a confrontation with the police in Sharpeville in South Africa. And on this day, it's supposed to be a day of dignity and human rights. This is the leader of an opposition party in South Africa, Julius Malema. And listen to what he has to say as he sings this song.
Shoot to kill, Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Vision.
So Donald Trump got it wrong. There's nothing to see here. Minorities are not oppressed in South Africa. They're under no threat. And by extension, farm murders are nothing special. There's no farmers being murdered in South Africa, according to Cyril Ramaphosa back in 2018. No farmers. None. Certainly no white farmers, is what he said to Bloomberg News in 2018. While South Africa's government continues to gaslight the world, Donald Trump has finally lifted that veil with his 7 February 2025 executive order exposing hypocrisy, the lies, and the distortions coming out of South Africa, while its minority communities of black, white, colored, and Indian are under threat by people acting the fool.
Where were you when I'm drunk? So sketchy.
Now, this violent, oppressive song is meant to intimidate and frighten in a terroristic manner those who are the recipients of it, the Boers, the white farmers of.
What about those who are threatened with Fafo? I'm not excusing this song. I'm just tracing where I've stepped before. I'm just reminding you of what I have said. Colonel Chris Wyatt, you came as a shock to me. You came as a surprise, really. I wondered who you were, and still, I haven't had a long time to look into you, but I did look at a live interview with you and Renaldo, a recent one where you mentioned that Bantu Holomisa was on your show and you were having a conversation with him. I actually started to appreciate you after seeing that, because I was wondering, who is this American guy who is going to be reporting from central Pennsylvania the whole time, speaking towards our country with this Tucker Carlson manner and style that we all know Tucker Carlson for, this speedy way of talking, this animated, eccentric personality of his. And I wondered, are you going to be reporting from the fringes, from the shadows? Are you going to speak with members of the ANC? Are you going to speak with members of the EFF? Are you going to invite them onto your show over there? Do you call it a podcast? I don't know what you call it. Are you going to invite them? Are you going to be a Piers Morgan? Are you going to allow people to come on there and debate? Or are you going to be reporting from one side? So I saw you speak with Bantu Holomisa, and I came to hear some of your views. You sound absolutely like a classic libertarian. I heard that quite clearly in you. And now we're here at this point where I think the EFF is starting to address you, and you might be realizing the impact of your entering into South Africa's discussion and your introduction of a phrase, Fafo. And you should be aware, the EFF is probably watching YouTube. Things are changing. More people are coming in and bringing their commentary. The people want to speak. It's Elon Musk who said, let the citizen journalist rise and stand. And so you can imagine that maybe the EFF or somebody in the EFF watches this engagement that I've been having with you and Ronaldo, or they watch Ronaldo, or they watch you. Maybe they even knew about you before I knew about you. But certainly, remember my words. I did say that if you are going to make threats, if you're going to speak in a hostile way towards the people here, there's going to be this effect. They're just going to test you to see what exactly you plan to do, what exactly you're packing. They're going to want to know. They're going to want to see. They're going to say, enough with the courting. Let's see what you've got in there. And now they're singing this song, and you might say they're not singing this song because of what you said recently. They've always been singing this song. And yeah, you might be correct, but are you going to rule out the possibility that you've influenced this in any way? Are you going to say or claim that you've said absolutely nothing? You've had no impact at all?
This has gone to court, and the court has upheld that this is free speech. Meanwhile, if anyone utters the K word, a Arabic word meaning unbeliever, you go to jail as a felon.
That word is a kafir
in South Africa. Free speech is free speech, but inciting violence is something completely different. This is what happens on Human Rights Day. And it happens in the midst of the behavior of South Africa's government having irritated the United States government to the point of almost no return. After the South African ambassador of the U.S. has been sent home for lying about America and calling President Trump the leader of a global white supremacy movement and Americans racist, then this happens on Human Rights Day. This is how the EFF, look at these people dancing and cheering and excited about the potential murder of people based on their skin pigmentation. You can't get more racist than this. Really? Really?
So, Mr. Chris Wyatt, who's gonna be the first to encourage us to have humility towards each other? I think I saw the presidency came out with a statement asking that formations should refrain from fanning hostilities and tensions between South Africa and the United States as former Ambassador Rasool lands here at OR Tambo tomorrow. So is the presidency asking people to be humble, to be relaxed? Are you going to be relaxed? Would you like for South Africa to continue with the United States? Or would you like our ties severed? Do you want to turn people hostile against you as you introduce a wording, fuck around and find out, to South Africans? Is this the point of no return? Are you, sir, helping us towards the point of no return? Is that what you were here for the whole time? Have you been calling for peace? Have you been respectful? Did you see your actions and your plan of action turning out in some eventuality where the South Africans, the EFF, the ANC just tuck their tails in and lower their booty and lower their heads and duck under a bed? Did you see yourself becoming a success? Did you foresee peace and calm from your approach and the way that you spoke? I'm just wondering.
Really? And Donald Trump got it wrong. There are no farm murders in South Africa. There are no farmers being killed. But we have people running around inspiring people to shoot to kill and kill the Boer. Openly. When he did this after the events in Senegal in 2020, singing up on the stage with his number 2, calling for shooting the Boer, switching to English to make sure we understood what was being said, over 90,000 plus hectares of prime farmland in the Free State, where Senegal is, and also in the Northern Cape, were torched and set alight by arsonists. The government tried to cover it up, claiming that it was service delivery protests at 4 o'clock in the morning, when in fact it happened at all hours, and it started shortly after this. In the 3 days after he called for the killing of the Boer, thousands of hectares destroyed, thousands of wildlife, and at least one farmer nearly burned to death. As far as I know, he survived in the end. But people's homes destroyed, farm managers, farm workers, completely destroyed, equipment destroyed, crops destroyed, and no criminal charges, no filing of charges, domestic terrorism. This is what South Africa has to deal with. So don't sit there and try to gaslight us and tell us that things are well in South Africa. They're not. South African society is sick when it tolerates this sort of behavior. People who transgress societal norms should be punished. That's the whole purpose of forming governments, to protect our mutual needs, including public safety.
How do you deal with an Elon Musk who has Sieg Heil? How does a transgressor like that stand running the Department of Government Efficiency? There's hypocrisies everywhere, Mr. Chris Wyatt. In looking this way, you looked away from hypocrisies and problems in your own country. And I'm sure you know that, but I respect that your niche, your reporting is specific. It's about South Africa. It's about our relations. It's about the minorities, the white people. It's about advocacy for them. It's about introducing a culture of left versus right reporting in the non-mainstream media, on YouTube, etc. The young black people, YouTubers who are currently on a rampage on this new trend of demeaning their fellow black people, speaking about the black people's incompetence. Katlego on her show speaking about clever blacks, alluding to stupid blacks, dividing the poor and the privileged black people, setting them against one another. I don't know how. It's disgusting. I can see that it's being attempted and it'll influence some, but black people are quite close to one another. I'd like to see where this propaganda against black people ends up. The young black people that you are interviewing on your show, they then go on to say very disgusting things about the people and the communities they come from. And they say they're highlighting, they're telling people to take responsibility, spreading self-loathing. And I can see your fingerprints all over that. I can see you being a part of those things. There are things happening right now. There are words being spoken on YouTube. They're making it to the ears of South Africans, and it's a message against black people. It's a put down to the black person, and you are here highlighting a particular day. This is Human Rights Day, a sacred day, but every day there's a new YouTuber saying offensive things, and you are all over that. A man in central Pennsylvania, you are there, and you are also here now, angry at the EFF and saying that racism should be stopped, while it seems you are responsible for spreading it. Reminds me of rap songs and lyrics that speak about systematic opening of gun and liquor stores in black communities so that the black people can procure firearms and kill each other. It's a simple, straightforward, logical equation. Community plus gun shops equals gunfire equals people arriving at the local hospital with lead. So there seems to be a direct approach of opening up taps of hatred in a number of black people. These Sama Sambit, Thomas, the 360 Experience, Mandi Samasheo, Aikumalo, Katlego Moagi, all of these people. So let's just finish listening to your one-sidedness.
Public safety. Human Rights Day. Kill the Boer. How is that celebrating human rights? All that's celebrating is black supremacy and racism. That's all that celebrates, and revenge. South Africa is reverting to the Middle Ages. It's not a good look, folks. Trump isn't wrong. South Africans are lying to the world. What say you? Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world is in a sad state. What say you? Are the people in South Africa, the whites, being oppressed? This song by the EFF has been sang constantly. I find it to be wrong. Let me go to sleep. It's late at night. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.